Slava Vakrachuk, thank you for being here and spending some time with us. Can you Thank you. Can you foresee, in your thought, even Mariupol, a place that's just been essentially, as Clint said, wiped off the map, can you ever see Ukrainians ever surrendering any city, let alone the capital, to these people, to Russia?
I've just talked to one of the leaders of the Mariupol defense, leader of one of the National Guard's units, Azov, an hour ago. He is on the siege Mariupol now, and I asked him, what is his message to Americans? I will talk to them soon. And he said, Mariupol will never surrender. And I absolutely believe to what he says. There are 3,000 of them, and they're not ready to give up the city. They're not ready to give up civilians that are still there, and they're suffering from Russian attacks. And I can assume that it will go more and more and more. And none of the Ukrainian cities you mentioned and others are going to surrender. I've seen many of these cities. I've been all over Ukraine supporting people. And I can tell you that the morale of both troops and civilians is very high. And everybody is very resilient. Everybody is willing to fight till the end. And when I say the end, I'm saying just our victory. So we are very determined and very focused. We didn't invite anybody of these troops, Russian troops, to our land. It was their decision, and they certainly will regret one day that they just started this. Ukraine is going to win this war, though I also agree with the experts that it can come on very high price. We are paying this price because now we are fighting not just for Ukraine. Ukraine now is the battleground for the whole free world. And that's why we so desperately need your help. I mean, not only American, but the whole free world's help. That's why we are asking every day for anti-missile defense and planes, because we are sure that if we had a much better situation on the air where Russia has still advantage, we would have won already this war, because on the ground we are much stronger, because Ukrainian army has very strong motivation. Everybody is very focused and determined. Russians have very low motivation. Some of them surrender. Some of them don't know what they're doing on our land, but still going and committing the orders of Putin, who is now, I'm absolutely sure, a war criminal after everything you've shown and we've seen. They are not the power everybody was expected. So they will never win this war. And certainly in 2 or 3 weeks, as you already said, it will be much better position for Ukraine. But once again, I need to assume we pay a very high human price. And not only our combat units of our soldiers, but also our civilians, including women and children, are being killed right now all the time. They deliberately shell and bomb Ukrainian civilian objects, including maternity houses, including care houses for elder, including the corridors, humanitarian corridors. I've just personally met a family from Mariupol who just told me in a gas station. I already put it on my Twitter. You can see it in English. They told me that they were allowed to go out from Mariupol, and then in 10 or 15 minutes after, they were driving the car. So they were shot, and many other cars were hit and people been killed or wounded. I've been to Zaporizhia in the hospital where I saw children in the intensive care unit where they were lying just between life and death, and doctors were trying to save them. Some of them have lost the legs and arms. Little children, little kids, like from 2 or 3 till 12 or 13. One girl, her name was Maria. She was crying, not because she felt pain, but because she already understood that she just lost her leg. And she was crying because she understood that for her, as for a young teenager girl, it was a disaster. So that's all being committed by Russians, and that's why we need to stop them. Some of your politicians say that you don't want to close the sky over Ukraine, because it may provoke the start of World War III. I'm convinced that the opposite is the truth. And the World War III may start much quicker if we all don't stop Putin now. And if to some extent we don't put it now, and he can succeed in Ukraine, he will definitely go further and further. And while now Ukrainian troops are fighting on our ground just for everybody, then if Ukraine loses, then other countries' troops will fight in their grounds. Yeah. That's why it's a very simple message. I know American audience, American constituency supports us. So just tell your politicians, do more for us now, and we will save the whole world. Ukrainians are ready to fight for the whole world.
Yeah. There is no doubt that Ukrainians have the valor to do it, have the courage to do it. And I cannot argue with the thing that you have said. I'm so sorry for what is happening in your country, and hopefully our politicians have heard you and will hear you. Clint Watts, my friend, thank you very much. And former Ukrainian parliament member Slava Vakrachuk, thank you very much. Up next.